I've seen that commentary amongst trans activists. It used to be very much about gender dysphoria, but over the last few years, there's the whole push, oh, you don't have to have gender dysphoria to be trans. Where's that coming from, do you think?
I think it's coming from a dissociation. I mean, maybe watching too many movies, maybe being too involved in the future. It's kind of like, I kind of agree that over a long enough time period, 200, 300 years, human beings may indeed be Lego, but that time is not now. I feel like a lot of these people are living in that reality already, or at least they think they are. And I just see a lot of people who are going to get to, my age and be very sad that they can't have kids when they thought, oh, I can just switch this around at a whim. And I think that's really what you're losing. If you take away all the other stuff, the thing you really lose is that. And that's hugely meaningful for anyone in humanity to be able to have, and to be able to have that option. No one should be making that choice to take away that option before they start to come around to the idea of wanting kids in the first place. I mean, it's odd for a teenager to want kids, so we expect they wouldn't, and a lot of them will, think, oh, well, I'm never going to have them, so I'll just do this now.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're a teenager and you're feeling terrible about yourself, the last thing you're thinking about is, oh, well, gosh, I might want to have kids someday. I should probably not do this. I mean, no nefarious adult, particularly if they have a financial stake, is going to bother explaining that properly to a kid, because you can't explain that properly to a kid. And, speaking of financial gain, again, on the subject of big pharma, I had a thought, Sascha. This whole puberty blocker thing, the push for it, it reminds me a little bit of the OxyContin scandal. I've been watching that show on Netflix called Painkiller, which has been very, very good, where they talk about, the journey of OxyContin. It was billed as this sort of wonder drug that didn't have any side effects, but actually got a whole lot of people horribly addicted. A lot of people died, relationships were destroyed. But it was this drug company that was, presenting it in a certain way and managed to skirt out of a whole lot of trouble. Now, this is sort of how Big Pharma has behaved since Big Pharma was a thing. So why do you have these activists who, in other situations, would criticise Big Pharma, barracking for Big Pharma instead and not allowing any discussion that there might be some bad intentions here?
Well, it's almost as if we're in an abusive relationship with Big Pharma. It's something we keep going back to them. We expect them to be different. And like you just said with the OxyContin, it's the same company or the same companies. So why are we thinking they're going to be any different? These people are scumbags. There's that guy, who I think Martin Sewers, who upped the price of that medication to ridiculous levels just because. Because there is so many examples of just Big Pharma being evil. To think that it wouldn't continue to be kind of an apathetic money-making machine is it's just foolish. I think on the trans side, I do think, again, it goes back to the sunk cost fallacy of these people investing all of their money into this thing, investing all their time into this thing. So it has to be right. It has to be right now, because if we're wrong, we're so wrong that we've ruined our lives and a load of other people and potentially our kids' lives. To actually come to terms with that as a parent, that you've done that and it was the wrong thing to do. I don't know if some people even can. I think it will break their kind of brain far too much. It's something some people just cannot accept, those sort of realities. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the stakes are unbelievably high here for people who've bought into this nonsense. And now, as you said, we've got all sorts of stuff coming out, like, the Cass report, the WPATH files, all of it, revealing that the opposite to be true. There's going to be an awful lot of broken brains and broken hearts coming up.